Thanks for joining another episode of Innovista Values. I'm Vic Bakhru, CEO of Innovista Health, and today I'm joined by Cindy Musiel, one of our four leads across our Illinois and Texas markets. Cindy, thank you for joining today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in Innovista, and tell us about your role.
Sure. Actually, I've been in nursing for almost 30 years personally. I started here. Actually, it was by another coworker that I'm currently been engaged with. She had mentioned she had popped over here from our past life, loved it. It was a newer company and there was a new role. And so she's like, you're going to be perfect for this, interview for it. So in 2019, so I'm just shy of 4 years. I popped over here and I started in the compliance department. I interviewed and actually there were a lot of people there from our past life, which was really nice. Fit right in, no problem. We were working on an audit tool. And so with that audit tool, we were developing it. So I got in on the ground floor, which was really nice. And when we were making that audit tool, we were doing that on behalf of our members because we wanted to make sure that our providers were hitting all their goals. And by doing that, we have to have our members in the right place at the right time and in the right setting. And so we had to make sure that we were hitting on all those components through our plan, which is utilization management. And we were doing that on behalf of our Blue Cross Blue Shield. So, basically what happened was I started performing on this audit tool that was in an Excel spreadsheet. And yeah. And we had several groups that we were doing this for, groups of nurses. And eventually what we did is we decided to automate it. So that involved now another group of teams, which was our IT team. And they were more than willing to help us get that automated. So that way it would not only make it easier, but other people then could see, the actual audits that we were working on without having to share spreadsheets.
Sure.
So that took some time, but we are now fully automated. And basically, I was interfacing with the nurses there and the team. The nurses were the ones performing our reviews or medical reviews, and they use MCG, which is a criteria in order to make sure that all of our cases and reviews are done properly. Sure. And they meet national criteria, which is what it is. So basically working with them. And when this opportunity opened up for me to look at a possible promotion from within, I was lucky enough that I was able to interview for that and was accepted, which is refreshing. When you're in a smaller company, it's very nice to know that there is time and place to move up in the organization. And being familiar with what I know already, this just was a natural step. So it was wonderful.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing all that. That's amazing. And congratulations on such an incredible, longstanding career in nursing. Before you worked in compliance and utilization management here at Innovista, what else did you do in your career?
Case management. I am actually a board certified case manager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I also have worked in the ER. That was my favorite place to be. I worked Yeah. I also worked in school settings. So I was a school nurse and worked also in their special ed department. Also worked with workman's comp. So I've done a lot of different things, labor delivery a little bit too, but mostly my main experience in the hospital was pretty much in the emergency room.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that as well. I'm constantly amazed. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of nurses at Innovista, and I'm constantly amazed at the rich diversity of experience that people have. And they bring all of that to the clients that we serve and the patients that we serve day in and day out. And it just boggles my mind because
absolutely,
it's such an incredibly concentrated group of high caliber talent. And so I'm always inspired when I have these conversations. So thank you again for sharing.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about your team on that note.
My new team now, I am working with 3 other, leads and basically learning the ropes as we speak. I've only been at this now for a couple of weeks, but what I will be doing is interfacing more now with the medical groups instead of the nurses doing the actual reviews. So it's like a normal step for me now to be looking at the bigger picture of it, and how we can help our providers meet their, goals and needs so that they can also be successful. And that's a different approach, but I like this because it's the other side of the coin of what I was working with originally. So
Sure.
it works for me.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I can't think of a better person to be again in that role. Just all the perspective you bring from various travels is
Yes,
helpful, right, to each of the different issues. So
absolutely.
it's great. Tell us a little bit about what you do for fun outside of work.
I do like to shop. You could always ask my husband that. He's like, "Oh no, not shopping."
Okay.
It's just
Online or retail? Like where is this an in-person?
retail shopping. Yeah, just some retail shopping, some good retail shopping. I do spend time in church. I do enjoy that as well. And, I like to craft. I love to read. I could probably read all day and all night if I had the opportunity. But I do volunteer also for a group called the Compassionate Friends for parents that have lost children at any age. So that's really important to me. I work on their newsletters and try to attend their meetings too every month. It just depends on when they fall during the month. But yeah, try to keep, current with that and try to help other families that are also, dealing with that in their lives, unfortunately.
I know that's an extremely tough occurrence and something that should never happen naturally. So
Correct.
kudos to you for supporting those families during a difficult time through this organization that you've mentioned. Well, great, Cindy. Anything else you'd like to share with our listeners today?
I read something, and if you don't mind, I would like to quote that. I read it
Absolutely.
recently, just in our like neighborly newsletter kind of thing. And it basically what it says is, we're like a plant, and we all need to find out where we grow best. And for me, this growth experience here has been at Innovista. So that was it just hit me when I read that. I'm like, oh, I can relate. It hit home. So it was something I wanted to get across, that yes, when we're here, we can grow always in whatever role we're in, and we're
Yeah.
given that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you so much for sharing that. I didn't know you were going to throw that quote in, and I love it so much. I couldn't agree more. I mean, nourishing the soul at the work, the workplace. We spend so much time at work, actually, and we spend it, whether virtually or actually in person together.
Yes.
It's a good chunk of time that we spend out of our lives in our work environment. And I was talking to another one of our team members about how the work environment really shapes our mood and how we feel and how we produce and how we have impact in the world around us. And so it's just constantly inspiring to hear many folks on our team, yourself just now, talk about the environment that they find themselves in and the positivity and the sort of encouragement, and that's upon us to do for each other, right, in our work.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. That's incredibly meaningful.
Well, and it's nice to know it's a small enough company that you have that ability. Sometimes when you're in a large company, as I have been in the past,
Sure.
you're one of many. You get passed by and they don't even know who you really are. If they saw you in the hallway, they'd think you were a visitor, so it's a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. No, I love our company's size. It's so perfect.
Yes.
Well, great, Cindy. What a great note to end on. Thank you so much for joining today. Really appreciate everything you've shared.
Very welcome. Very welcome.
And thank you to our listeners for joining another wonderful episode of Innovista Values. I'm Vic Bakhru, CEO of Innovista Health, and today I was joined by Cindy Musiel, one of our UM leads here. Thanks so much. Until next time, y'all. Take care.